being a stay-at-home mom. And at the same time, I'm enrolled in Dove's Authentic Speaker Training Program. And I have learned so far that I have to start with an introduction. So I was preparing to come and talk to all of you, and okay, that means I have to tell all of you who I am. So who am I? Have you ever really asked yourself that question? How would you describe yourself? Would you say you're an entrepreneur, a CEO, or maybe you're going to climb Mount Everest and you're a climber? Have you got a picture in your mind of how you would describe you? Got it? Now, what if tomorrow you woke up and you weren't? What if you couldn't be? What if the huge corporation you were running went bankrupt overnight? Or what if you were in an accident and you could no longer climb? Then who would you be? Well, I know who I thought I was. I was a national account manager for a worldwide corporation, and it was really exciting, golfing, entertaining, mostly building rapport with the vice president of whoever would sign the contract. I was just starting to get good at it, but the company I worked for had a ceiling on how much I could make, and I was so demotivated. And that's when my husband Steve came home one night and he said, "Trish, I got a job offer, but it means we're gonna have to live overseas." Overseas? Overseas? Oh my God! When do we go? Oh, he's gonna take me away from it all. So off we went. I gave notice, and where we went was Eastern Germany. Now, in the rest of Europe, you can get away pretty well if English is your only language. But there, the people learned Russian as their second language. No one spoke English. So I go in, walking into where Steve worked, the only new building in the town. And I walk in, and I walk up to the secretary, Andrea. And she's filing her nails. So I can see behind the desk, and I can see that Andrea's got a short for corporate miniskirt, jack boots, giant hair. And as soon as I open my mouth, well, she hears my accent, she knows who I must be. Guten Tag, Frau Leptick. So she's speaking to me like I'm deaf, and I'm about 3 years old. Another secretary walks in. Bigger hair. Andrea introduces me. Birgit, here is Frau Leptick. She is the Hausfrau that followed her man to Germany. Hausfrau, that's housewife. Holy, no, wait, I had 2 secretaries in Canada. But none of that mattered. I was standing there in front of Birgit and Andrea, and I realized that in the flight from Canada to Europe, I'd lost my voice, my brain, because I now speak like a 3-year-old, and everyone treats me like one. And now I've followed my man here, so I don't have a life of my own. A Hausfrau to me meant cleaning and really good cooking, and I burn frozen pizza. So now, who am I? Have any of you ever lost sight of who you are momentarily? Well, if you haven't, it's my belief that you will. Because life has this crazy way of changing things up, and who you think you are changes. I became so disconnected from who I was that even though I knew I'm there to support Steve, and I'm there to support our dreams, and I'm madly in love, I became so disconnected from myself that I learned it's not possible to connect with anyone else until you're connected to yourself first. And I remember clearly when I realized how disconnected Steve and I had become. We were driving in to catch a flight in Berlin. And I was in the passenger seat, and I look over at Steve, and he looked a million miles away. And I realized that I was far off in my own mind. And the silence grew, it turning into resentment, until eventually it was as though we didn't speak the same language. I don't know if any of you have been there, but how many of you are here today, I know Dov asked earlier, with your partner? Wow, that is so great. No, you don't have to answer this right now, but how many of you wish your partner was here? Well, here's what I want to share with you. Just by you being here, you're empowering your relationship. Because you're fighting for your growth. And relationships are about growth. So I just want to honor you for doing that. You know, it wasn't very long ago, I was sitting here where you're sitting now, and my partner wasn't here. He had a great reason. He was at home looking after our daughter, Kate. But I knew that even if angels flew in and set him free, he was not coming here. But I came. And by day 3, I was so excited. I was on fire. I went running home. Steve, I really, really want to sign up for Dov's core affluence system. And he could see how much this meant to me. And he said, okay. But I went, and that is where everything changed for me. I found my intrinsic value. I stopped looking externally for my self-worth. And guess what? He came. He came to all of the courses. And the one that impacted us the most was Authentic Soulmates for Couples. We went the first time 4 years ago. And just 2 weeks ago, we came and volunteered again for this year's Soulmates. It was incredible. I'm going to tell you. It was so powerful to see the transformation between the couples who came in and the couples who went out. There was one couple. They were on the brink of divorce. They couldn't even look at each other in the eye, and they had been disconnected, they said, for years. But to see them by day 5 fall in love all over again, they inspired all of us. There was another couple there. They were in the throes of power struggle. Don't know if you've ever been there. It's not a nice place. And it was painful to watch, and you could see they were hurting each other, and they didn't want to. But by day 4, they had been given the tools to stop hurting each other and to deal with the issues and to see the depth of love in their eyes. Yeah, I had Kleenexes at the back. There was one more couple who'd been there for 30 years, and when they walked in, they said, "We have a great relationship." But day 5, when they stood up and said, "We never knew that it could be this connected at this level." And after volunteering for the 5 days, I realized how much Steve and I had grown since the 4 years at least when we came. And you know, he's here today. And if it's okay with all of you, I would really like to honor him. Steve, thank you for coming with me that first time, for growing with me, and for seeing all of who I am and loving me anyway. Life is so rich because of you. Thank you for coming with me again. I love you. I can definitely recommend Soulmates. If any of you have ever been in the same house with the person of your dreams and you're madly in love, except it seems like you're living on 2 different continents and there are no ships, no planes, no communicating. At Soulmates, we learned how to connect no matter what was going on. Even if the in-laws are staying in your house for 2 weeks, you've got the tools. And there still are arguments, but now, instead, before, one of us would say something real hurtful and dumb, the other one would walk away, and eventually we might say sorry. But we have the tools now to stop it before the hurtful words, and to resolve the issue so we're not having the same argument over and over. And the best part of all is that there is no more nagging. I swore I would never nag, because to me, a woman who nagged was like an old, boring woman who no one wanted to listen to. And the day I caught myself nagging, I was so mad at Steve for making me do it. But after Soulmates the first time, never nagged again. No nagging. Guys, that is reason alone to sign up for Soulmates. So if you want no more nagging, and if you want to take your marriage to a place maybe you dreamed of when you first said I do, then this weekend, go to the back of the room and sign up for Soulmates. And with that, it would honor me to introduce to you, and bring him back up here, the man who helped me find my intrinsic value and helped me take my marriage to a level I never dreamed of. Please stand and help me bring back to the stage my really good friend and mentor, Dog.